Hi, ladies. Um, it's been a long time since I've done a video. It's about a week, maybe 2 weeks further out than I wanted to do with a video, but life just happens, and that's just how it goes. I had this cerclage surgery done on the oh gosh, I think it was Monday the 24th, I think. It was supposed to be Friday the 21st, but yeah, that's a whole long story and a video in and of itself. So, I won't go into all of that, but essentially I was in the hospital. I was checked in. I had been checked in almost an hour before I got a phone call from the surgeon who said that he totally forgot about reservations for dinner and a show he made a year ago, and it is only good for this one day. And I was just like, oh my God, you're telling me this? Like, you're telling me this now? So, anger doesn't even begin till I'm just speechless, and I'm never speechless about stuff. So, so we left, and I came back on Monday. Everything went fine Monday. I have had the bypass surgery. I've had a tonsillectomy. I've had 2 different surgeries on my tubes. I mean, and my pain tolerance is pretty high. So I normally just ask for Tylenol with codeine and go home. And normally take 2 or 3 to get me through the first day, and then I'm done. This, I don't know if there's a different pain level for each different type of cerclage. I don't know. But I know I had the TVCIC. So I had the highest one vaginally that they can do before they go through the abdomen. So I don't know if that's why, and a regular cerclage is okay, but I have never been in that much pain in my life. In my life. And once the spinal wore off, like the procedure itself, I was flying high on, carpet land. I didn't feel anything from the waist down. I felt warm. It was great. Like, I didn't feel a thing. Now, when the procedure was occurring, they put me in Trendelenburg for the surgery, and I didn't expect that. So he puts the table. I've been in Trendelenburg with my daughter, but I didn't expect him to do it during the surgery. I don't know why. So I'm leaning back, and I feel like I'm going to fall out. It's weird. And I even mentioned it. I'm like, I'm not going to fall out of this chair, am I? And they're like, oh, no, you're fine. And my legs are in the stirrups. No dignity whatsoever. None. And it's not even just the regular position we're used to for OBs either. It's like, I can't explain it. Like, as wide as your legs can even open, and your hips in this weird position, and they're dangling from the knee down. So from the knee down, your legs are just hanging there. And he gets going, and he's like, do you feel this? And no, you don't feel the pain, or you don't feel it, but the pressure I felt like I was just like, and my legs were shaking and my hips were shaking, and he was getting down in there. And I'm assuming it's because it wasn't just, oh, here's her cervix, I'm sewing the bottom of it. I mean, it was ridiculous. So when the procedure was done, I was like, oh, I can't move my legs, I can't move my feet. It's the weirdest feeling. And And they said it would take about 1 to 2 hours. And of course, I hit the 2-hour mark and I'm just now feeling tingly. And she comes in and she has me wiggle my toes and I can't wiggle them. And I'm like, it's been 2 hours. She goes, well, I'll admit you're on the longer end of what we normally expect. We normally expect a little bit more than this. And so I'm thinking, oh my God, like, is this going to wear off? You know, but it eventually wore off and it was fine. But, it was, when the spinal wore off, the pain I felt was like nothing else. It's so hard to describe. It's an inside vaginal pain that I've gone through childbirth. Not like a full 8-pound baby, but I got to 21 weeks. I got 6-7 centimeters, delivered her. So I get what that pain feels like. This, it felt like I had been raped by a T-Rex. That's just, and the pressure I felt like something was going to just pop right on through. It was horrible. Like, I felt like I was going to vomit, and I did vomit for like the whole night afterwards, but I just, all this pressure on my stomach. I mean, it was hard to breathe. And she comes in and she goes, oh, we got stuff for you. And I'm like, okay, for the pain, you know, because I'm like right at a 7, and I had a 7 right after my bypass, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And I'm like, sure, bring it. Like, I normally kind of get sick to my stomach with medicine like that, but I was willing to vomit just to get rid of some of this pain. So she comes in and she gives me, I later find out it was a very, very strong dose of liquid morphine, which of course kind of scared me afterwards because I'm like, is that even okay for the baby? When she comes in and she puts it in and she goes, okay, I'll be back in 3 hours for your next dose. And then after that dose kind of wears off, the second dose, you can try to go to the bathroom and go home. And I'm sitting there listening to her and she's like, and you can go home. Because I'm like, go home tonight. I can't even, like, I don't even, like, know how I'm going to even stand up and walk, not to mention deal with this kind of pain and all. When she gave me the shot and she walked out, I just bawled. Because normally that crap knocks me the hell out. Like, to the point where I don't even feel my eyelids blink. Like, I am knocked out because I never take that kind of stuff. I never take pain medicine. So, and when she walked out, I'm still sitting there. And I'm like, it didn't even touch it. It didn't even touch it. It made me feel warm in my butt. But it took no bit of pain away. I just cried because I knew at that moment that the next however many days this was going to be, there is nothing that I could physically take besides killing myself that is going to relieve this pain. And I went home. I barely made it home. The first pee, the first bowel movement, don't even go there with me because it like set me back a whole nother day. Like, it restarted it all. Because all of our stuff is together. And when you even bear down in the slightest, it's like, can you imagine? Like, the stitches up in there are being pushed and like the skin and it's just, okay. It was just a lot. And I came home that night. I kept vomiting and vomiting and vomiting until there was essentially nothing left. And I just was dry heaving and overshare. But the whole night, and then I just laid there. I think it was like at 2:30, and I looked at the clock and I went, I haven't slept. And like, I had all that pain medicine, and normally that knocks me out. Like, I hadn't slept, and I just cried and I just cried and I just cried in bed. Because it was like I couldn't get enough relief from the pain to fall asleep. And then the following day, it was better. It was better. I was able to take a couple of the pain pills and still dealt with the vomiting, which re-hurts everything. It was just the worst 3 days of my life. 3 days. And on the third day, as it was ending, I was like, okay, this is okay. And the fourth day when I woke up, I'm like, wow, it's as if I didn't even have surgery. It was the weirdest thing. On like the fourth day, I went to the bathroom. I had a bowel movement. I went down the stairs to take my dog outside and it didn't hurt. It was as if I had never had the surgery. It was weird. It was like, and now to this day, I don't feel it. A lot of people say they feel it, and maybe because mine is, I feel like it was done up in my throat. It's done up really high, so I don't know if that's why, but I don't feel it. I was told I could have sex. I was told I could go swimming. I could lay in the tub. I could exercise because the stitch is done so high that there's no risk of like, it is possible in any cerclage that it could like rupture or whatever. He goes, but we have your entire cervix down below that we can emergency stitch. And he goes, and there's no way your husband's penis is long enough that he'll be able to touch that high of an abdominal stitch. It's like, he said it's like the equivalent of an abdominal stitch, which women get those done not pregnant and they're told to have sex to conceive and it doesn't affect, it's weird. I don't know. But the difference since having the cerclage is with my other two that I lost, and even this one before surgery, I would sit down, I would go pee, I would go poop, and that little bearing down we do, I would feel the sac and the baby just kind of sink. And then it would pop back up when I was done going to the bathroom. But as we all know, in my two previous pregnancies, that sink occurred and there was either a pop or a baby was out. A leg was sticking out. So I could almost feel the incompetency, or at least when I was going to the bathroom, I could feel, I'm like, I don't think the baby is supposed to sink down like that. I mean, I get like when you get big and pregnant and it's all like down there, but I would feel it sink. And this time around, since the cerclage and everything has moved up, my belly popped about a week after the cerclage. It was just like, oh my God, because I feel like it just moved everything. And what's weird is like when I go potty and I sit down or I squat or I bend over, I pick up something, nothing moves. Like I can feel the baby kind of moving around in there, but I feel nothing sink down. I feel like none of that falls, or that just that weird pressure feeling in the vagina that I had in my pregnancy. I don't have that. I feel like almost everything is right here versus down there. And so I'm dealing with way more vomiting and nausea this trimester, starting at a week after my cerclage, actually. And before, in the first trimester where they say it's really bad, I think I had one day that I vomited. I ate what I wanted to eat, oatmeal, things that were a little bit heavier that did better in my stomach, but I was able to eat. I mean, this time around, I'll go, oh, I really crave that. I'll go sit down and I'll have that. And it's not too much for my bypass. I know what is okay for my bypass, and I'll just eat it. And it's like 30 seconds later, it's like, I gotta vomit this up. Like, or I get that just knot in the stomach, that feeling that you get right before you're supposed to, or that weird taste in your mouth. And I'm like, why can I not eat anything? I mean, I've had 2 different restaurant experiences where I'm running to the bathroom to throw, and I mean, like, this is retarded, because I'm going into my 16th week. So I'm wondering if, like, moving everything up just affected my, I don't know. I talked to my bypass patient. He said it was impossible that it would affect my stomach because my stomach is up here. When they change my stomach, they move it up. But he said, however, my colon and my intestines could have had pressure put on them by the uterus because they were also rerouted. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I am resorting to anti-nausea methods, all natural methods of trying to get my appetite going. And I know it would be best for the baby if I didn't have anything, but if I didn't have anything, I would be losing more weight. And the scary part is, which I regret telling my mother and my family because now my family is hounding me and I shouldn't have, but I am 4 pounds away from entering the underweight category for my height. And while I feel healthy, and I'm told by my bypass patient, my vitamins, and he goes, I can tell by your skin tone and everything that you look healthy and I feel healthy. He goes, I'm just nervous because you're not stopping losing, and you're losing more now that you're pregnant because the appetite issue, that I'm 126 pounds and I'm 5'6". And he's just like, no. He's like, if you hit, I think it's like 120 or something, or that you're underweight. He goes, 5'6" is just way too tall for that. And I've lost 10 pounds since my positive pregnancy test on Christmas Day. And he's like, I get that it's normal for people in the first trimester to lose. He goes, but you're just keeping on and you didn't have it to lose in the first place. And so I'm a little nervous about that, but the baby measure's perfect. The baby has everything. The baby's doing fine. He said that I'll eventually pay because the baby's just going to start taking from me. And that would make sense because I have more fatigue also in the second trimester than the first trimester. And I'm throwing up more. And it's just like, I don't get it. It's fine. And I might have a slight case of, the HG syndrome where I'm just going to be sick every so often, or, a mild case of morning sickness the whole pregnancy. I know a lot of women have that. So that might be it. I don't know. But everything else is good. This is a long video. I'm sorry. But I am moving in 1 month. We start moving. We gave ourselves 2 weeks to move so that we can kind of take our time. So we have to be out by the last day of April. We get our keys April 14th to the new place. It is a 1,400 square foot, beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath on an orange orchard, on an acreage. It's amazing. It's got a master, huge tub. It's everything I want in a place, especially for like us right now. If I had my choice, it would be, a 3,000 square foot house, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. So that way I could stuff it full of kids, and adopt all the kids I wanted. But we just were not financially able to do almost anything anymore now that I've quit my job. The best I get now is a day out with a friend and going to lunch and a movie. Like, that is the extent of amazing money that I have to do stuff. My hair is growing out because I haven't been able to afford, the hair stuff. And I am wearing my summer makeup. As you can tell, it's probably a little darker than the rest of me because I always lay out in the sun in the summer. But the makeup I buy is fairly expensive. I don't go cheap because then my skin breaks out and everything. But so I'm wearing this shades of stuff because I ran out of the other stuff. And we don't even have like an extra $100 at the end of a pay period to just be like, oh, let's do this. Like this pay period, we went and got pie for Pie Day yesterday. Like the $13 in pie, that is what we splurged on this paycheck. And the only reason why I'm going out to lunch with a friend today is because she's treating me because my birthday is next week. I'm like, and we're going to have a baby, and I damn well better be able to breastfeed. And my sister is giving me cloth diapering, and we'll make it work. We'll make it work. We're going to cloth diaper. Not for the first 3 to 4 weeks. We're going to be doing, disposables and swaddlers. But so I'm like, okay, I'm researching cloth diapering and how to save money and ways to do this. And moving actually to the bigger place because it's 15 minutes further out. So we have to drive an extra 15 minutes to wherever we want to go. We're saving approximately $200, $300 a month. And so, like, it's amazing because no one wants to drive 15 minutes. It's amazing what you'll pay for location. So it's great. So we'll be saving that, but we had to borrow some money from my parents to kind of do the deposit and do the first month's rent kind of thing. And so we're like, okay, that $300 we're saving a month is to pay them back. And I'm just like, someone always told me that I would get pregnant and the baby would do well and I would carry to term when we are the brokest, when we are the most least prepared, when you least expect it, and you're going through adoption, and all of those things happened. All of them. We are the brokest we've ever been. We are the least prepared we've ever been in the 6 years that we've been trying. It happened the second month of me trying after getting healthy, which I'm like, it took me 5 years. I have one tube. All of this stuff, I'm like, that's why this is going to work. That is why this is going to work. And I'm grateful, but I'm like, why couldn't this have happened when my husband was in the military and we were getting bonuses and he was making tax-free money and, you know, we were making like $20,000 more a year than we are right now. And it's just, it is. It is. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. I love every move of the baby. I started feeling movement right after this cerclage. It's like, it's weird. It just moved everything. And I was about 13 weeks when I started feeling movement. It's also probably because I'm much thinner. I didn't feel movement at all with Aaron Jr. and we made it to 16 weeks. And with Mariah, I didn't even feel it until like a week before she came, which is sad because I didn't get to enjoy it much. But that's kind of the update. I'm declawing my cat right before we move just because I love her to death, but she's an obsessive little one. And she'll find a little stray hair on the carpet and just go to town until there's a hole there. Not so great. She's never attacked me, the dog. She's so good when she plays, but she has that obsessive personality. And what's great is we had cracked carpet in here when we moved in. They were supposed to replace it, but they never did. So they absolved us of all responsibility of the carpet because this diva darling kitty of mine would have cost me my whole deposit. So thank God for that. My anti-buying anything for baby, I broke that actually, and I'm very proud of myself last week because I've been living in this fear-monger state. Last week, I purchased, it's so cute. It was at a garage sale, and it was $10, and something just told me, Amanda, do it, because you just have to do it. And you know what? You may come home to an empty house without your baby, and you may see this damn thing here, but you know what? You can at least say that you had some hope and that you didn't live in fear the whole time, and I can always give it away to somebody if something happens. But I'm not living like that. It's so cute. It's this little bunny rabbit bouncer. So you stick your baby in, and when you stick your baby in, where its head goes, there's these little floppy bunny ears. They're so cute. And it's got a little mobile, and you stick them in, you can buckle them in, and it makes sounds, and it kind of bounces. It's so cute. I'm like, $10? Cute. So I did that, and I'm proud of myself that I did that. So, yeah, life is going to be absolutely hellish crazy. And I don't know that I'll be able to do another video. I'm going to try to do another video after my parents come and we know what the sex of the baby is and everything. So we find out the sex of the baby on the 28th. We have a 4D ultrasound, so in 2 weeks. And then my parents leave on the 5th. So I may not do a video until after they leave, but we start moving the 15th. So I only have a week to get that video in. So I will try to do that with the sex of the baby. Everyone asks me. You can put your comments or guesses below of what you think. I don't really have that many followers, so I don't really give a shit. But if you want to take a guess, sure. Everybody says it's girl. Everybody says it's girl. I mean, I haven't talked to somebody, but maybe 1 or 2 people that are like, it might be a boy, but I'm thinking girl. Everyone is thinking girl. Everyone is in girl mode. And I am completely clueless this time. I knew with my other 2 right away what I was having, and I felt it. I knew this one I'm clueless. I tend to lean a little bit more to boy. I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing that gives me an indication, but I hope for Aaron's sake it's a boy because I don't know if he can handle another one of me. I don't know that he can handle another one of me. And we're doing this really cool idea where we write down the sex of or the tech writes down the sex of the baby on the card. We give the card to my photographer and friend, and we give her a box, and it says "Itza" on it. And we give her a set of girl balloons, a set of boy balloons, and she knows on the card, she takes it all, and she fills up the box of balloons with the correct color, closes it. We meet at a park. Me, my husband, and my parents will be there. And when she opens the box, she starts taking pictures, like going crazy. Everyone's reactions, you know, the balloons going up in the air. It's a really cute idea. But I am telling you right now, I will bet $1 million if I had it, that if pink balloons come out of that box, the look on my husband's face is going to be like, because he knows the bows and shit are coming out. He knows it's going to be rainbows and tutus. It's going to be Princess and the Frog nursery with mom. And it's going to be walking around singing Let It Go from Frozen all day. He knows life is kind of going to suck when it comes to that. And I'm kind of excited because if that's the case, you can see me over the corner going, yes, like that is going to be my response. And while we don't care what the baby is, we are happy, of course. There's this little kind of war between me and my husband of like, but what he doesn't understand is this girl, if it's a girl, is probably going to want nothing to do with me. Going to be all over dad. When's dad coming home? Let's play video games with dad. And it's not going to matter anyways. And that's the thing, is we're warring over this, but the reality is they always say daddy's girl, mommy's boy. So I don't know. So I kind of hope for my husband's sake it's a boy, because I just think he would be, like, I'd love to see him totally, okay, thank God. Like, we're not going to go crazy with the bows, but we'll see. I mean, it'll be fun either way. I know my parents, they'll just be crying and excited and everything, but it'll be fun. It's a secret because I know my husband will see this. And if you steal my name, bitches, it's on. But the only people that can see it are in this group. So it's okay. But it's not going on like my public Facebook or anything. But if it's a girl, I'm giving my husband his name. He has been wanting this name. He loves this name. I haven't been really feeling it. And as we've been going on in the pregnancy, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm actually kind of feeling it, and I'm kind of liking it, and I'm just almost at the point where I'm like, you know what? He deserves it. If this child is a girl, I can give him one thing, and that is the name, because the rest is all going to be me. You know, I'm going to be going nuts. So I'm going to give him his name. And you can laugh at it. You can whatever you want. It's not bad. I think it's cute. But I kind of need some encouragement, because compared to my name I had picked out, oh God. I mean, okay, so he loves Clan of the Cave Bear. He loves the Earth's Children series. And so he wants to name her after the main character in that series. And it's Ayla. A-Y-L-A. And I'm like, it's cute. But of course, I wanted Alonza, you know, Eliana, Gianna. I had all of these like beautiful names. I even had, I loved Clementine. Oh my God. I loved all of these like gorgeous, beautiful names that nobody ever names their kids, because they always want this stupid Keeley crap for their kids. And like, I love like old-fashioned beautiful names. So I was really stuck on, I loved Alonza. I just love it. Like, no one is named that. And I don't know, I still am holding on to it. But I'm like, okay, Ayla, he really loves this name, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it to him. The boy name has never been debated. The boy name has always been what it's going to be. And so, let's see. I am getting my gorgeous, beautiful, romantic middle name. And that one I won't share, because if anyone stole that, I think I might go raving bitch. So I'm waiting to share that one if it's a girl. But Ayla, if you steal it, fine, steal it. Whatever. But it's my husband's like name, and he loves it. And so I'm thinking of a way of how I could like present that to him if it's a girl that day, so it kind of helps a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, after 30 minutes, this is enough. So I will try to do another video in about 3 weeks. Okay.